Okay, that's number 1. Yeah, that was number 1. Let's go on to number 2 here. It says, what is the center of a circle whose equation is the following? So we have a circle here, and we have, this is x squared plus y squared minus 12x minus 2y plus 12 equals 0, right? So it's asking us, what is the center of the circle here? So what they're doing here is that remember our standard kind of equation of a circle looks something like this. They wrote it as t1 here, so maybe I'll copy that as well. That's fine. They have x minus, this is t1 squared plus this y minus t2 squared equals the radius squared, right? The radius squared is where the r is the radius, and then t1 and t2 is the point at the center of the circle, right? So we have these two terms here, and what we can do is we can basically we're trying to factor out all of these guys here. So we're going to basically collect like terms and figure out how to actually get to this problem here. So I'm gonna rearrange this equation here to write x squared. I have x squared minus 12x plus y squared minus 2y plus 12 equals 0. I'm just putting the x's and the y's on the same side in this case here. And what we can do with this here is we can start factoring out specific things here, right? So we have x squared and x here, so we can factor out, we want to factor out basically this x squared minus 12x term. We want to factor out this y squared minus y term here. So in order for us to do that, basically we're doing something called kind of completing the square. So how they wrote it here is that they have x squared minus 2 times 6x minus 2 times 1, that's okay, plus 12 here equals 0, and they have x squared minus 2 times 6 plus x plus 6 squared, and then plus 1 squared here. So there's just simply taking the difference of squares here. So maybe I'll show you how they did it here. So basically they're taking these two terms and they're completing the square to make a perfect square trinomial, and they're taking these two terms and making a perfect square trinomial. So in order for me to do that, I have to do x squared. I'm gonna do this in black. Oh, it's frozen, so that's why. Okay, that's fine. I think this might be a Mozilla Firefox problem here. That's okay. So I have x squared minus 12x. I'm taking this b term and I'm going to divide it by 2 and then square it. So 12 divided by 2 here is 6. 6 squared is 36 here. So 6 squared would be plus 36 minus 36 here. So I have that term first. And then I'm going to have, actually I'll put the 36 basically where this is, but actually no, I'll leave it here, plus, and then I have basically this here is y squared minus 2y. 2y divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is simply just 1, right? So plus 1 minus 1 plus 12 here equals 0. And as you can see, basically I'm taking the negative terms out here. Basically I have my perfect square trinomial as stated over here. This here is a perfect square trinomial. This here is a perfect square trinomial. And these three terms, I'm going to have to, these three terms here, I'm going to have to simplify here. So my perfect square trinomial in this case would be, this is x minus 6 here, squared. And then plus, I have here y squared minus 2y plus 1 is y minus 1 squared, right? And then I'm simplifying minus 36 plus 1 plus 12 equals 0 here. So I'm just going to rewrite it here. So minus 36 minus 1 plus 12 would give me minus 36 minus 1 plus 12 would give me a value of negative 25. Minus 25 equals 0. And then finally, I can move the 0 to the other side. And I would get x squared minus 6 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals positive 25 here. Or I can rewrite that as 5 squared here. So my radius here I know is 5, and the center of my circle here is basically, this is 6 and 1 will be the center of my circle here. It's just simply taking T1 and T2, right? This is T1 and T2 here. This is my radius. T1 and T2 here, where basically the center of the circle is T1 comma T2. in this case, which is 6 and 1 here. So this here, the center of a circle, therefore, is 6 and 1. So this here solution is correct. It's just missing the information that we have to complete the square for both the x terms and the y terms. And that's what they were doing in step 4, I believe it was this here is step 4 and step 4. The solution here is correct. I just want to explicitly say that they're actually completing the square, but it's totally fine here. That's number 2.